What happened, Dad? Why are we taking your
She's
picture?
got blah blah in the onion.
Well, Ham's here visiting,
Is he?
and he just had a surprise delivery. Surprised everybody except me. I already knew about it.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I had to get you,
Rendezvous.
I had to get you the correct address. I didn't have that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Provided that for
Well, that's good
I'm
to
glad
know.
it was correct.
But I'll tell you, they're right on time.
Now,
I said deliver somewhere about 10 o'clock on Friday morning.
Yeah, now
and
that's
we
FedEx
can have it
for
for dinner Friday night.
That's what we're gonna do.
FedEx.
Idea. The back and get underneath a couple of boxes up and reach way under there, bring something out.
Yeah.
That's
kind of-
Gate City on summer. Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, they're still there. I don't think they're quite.
That guy's dead, I'm sure.
You used to be able to go wander back in there and get what you wanted.
If you knew where it was.
Well, what happened is, people would wander around and get what they wanted. In the new generation, mostly black, would come out with pockets full of stuff that they didn't buy. I couldn't find it, no. And so they finally said, we ain't doing that anymore. You come to the front desk, tell us what you want, and we'll go get it for you. So, but anyway, that's...
You know you're being recorded, and therefore, so hold down on the racism, please.
I mean, I shouldn't say... You know that there's somebody on NPR named Stephen Fatchett? Do you know that?
I know I didn't, but
Well,
I can imagine.
if you listen to NPR at all, this guy, Stephen Fatchett,
You know, they
why
called
he
on
didn't change
him
his name, I don't know.
back in the 50s sometime, Stephen Fetchit, and he said, I don't know what everybody's all this noise about. He says, I was proud of what I did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he was.
he was.
You know.
We buried his sister, something
she
like
did?
that, at, well, they made sure,
Oh, I see.
at Memorial Park, back some years ago. And he came to the funeral.
And
all.
she's at Memorial
She is
Park.
buried at Memorial Park, 6 feet under.
Do you ever go out there anymore? They still have.
They're doing pretty well. Most of the same people we had hired and trained are there.
Good.
And they're doing good maintenance. Catherine would be proud because she'd go out there and see a bush that was somehow unclipped or messed up some way. She'd have them go out and fix that bush and take it up or something. And they're doing, I think, a fair job of doing that, keeping the
That
roads
place
up.
was beautifully maintained in her era.
It was.
Crystal Grotto?
Is that it?
Oh, the Crystal Shrine Grotto. Oh, yeah.
Where you had your Easter services.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Were you ever there for the Easter service?
I never made the Easter services too early. It's sunrise or something.
Early and cold and
Yeah.
raining
Yeah.
half the time. I can't count the times I stood with an umbrella over the organist.
You were a good guy.
Well, he was the husband of the owner.
I was made to be there.
I remember it was so beautiful. Those crystals were just
The whole thing
unbelievably
was
gorgeous.
just fun for children.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Catherine's
Story.
grandfather had been out to Colorado and see the Garden of the Gods. You know, you've seen the Garden of the Gods, haven't you?
I've seen it in pictures. I'm familiar with it, but no, I've never been there.
Well, he came back and attempted to reproduce the Garden of the Gods.
In
Well,
Memorial
that's
Park.
That's a whole canyon full of monoliths.
Yeah, well, we've got a 10% maybe Garden of the Gods that's all around the Crystal Shrine Grotto up there.
Yeah.
Is that like the tree you could walk in and sit down? Is that,
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah, I like that.
Little hollowed out tree.
Yeah.
And Dionisio Rodriguez did all that stuff. And if you Google him, he
Have to spell Dionisio, so
came
yeah, I
from
will.
somewhere down around San Antonio. And he worked his way kind of going, northeast, I guess, from there. Did a huge project in Little Rock, North Little Rock, Arkansas. I mean, he's got a working mill.
Oh,
and
my
stuff.
gosh.
And all of that is
Well, Little Rock
concrete.
was an uptown place.
Well, all of that is concrete made to look like wood, which is what he did. And
That's
there were
what
still
it
some old blacks that worked around there when he was there. And they said, the old man said he had a van that he would open up and he would reach in there and mix these colors to stuff. And if anybody came by, he'd step back, close the thing. He didn't want anybody to see what he was doing.
Yes, that's
And
right.
Mr. Hines
New message
never
from
paid him all off because he couldn't get him back if he didn't owe him some money. And so we've got some letters that transpired between the two of them. Yeah, well, it's 1936, and said, you know, you didn't finish that last job. Well, I've got these. I said, well, I'm going to pay you for it as soon as you can come up here and finish this thing. And so he'd get him started on something else, you know, and it just kept on building that way, which was sort of interesting. Do you know that he had a Rembrandt in the Crystal Shrine Grotto?
A Rembrandt?
Yeah, and advertised, come to see the Crystal Shrine and see the Rembrandt. Well, what he did was he had a big thing. It was a woman at the base of a waterfall with the moon behind the waterfall coming down. She was on her knees praying, I guess. And
Sounds just like Rembrandt.
silver hair, yeah. Well, it turned out there was an artist around home named Mary Rembrandt. And she did this picture, and he hung it up. See the Rembrandt. No, Dionisio Rodriguez.
How do you spell Dionisio? And then I'm gonna put the
Just
camera down.
about the way you would think.